3 seasons, and a podcast.
By an AI commissioner, much faster.
But hey, at least it wasn't a reboot.
OpenAI unveiled the newest version of their video engine this week called Sora 2. We've all seen the launch video of it, and we've seen people generating videos of it. It does seem to be a significant improvement over their previous offerings, and I will say it is getting pretty close to photorealism that you cannot distinguish from, non-reality. It's not. I don't think it's quite there yet, but it is getting pretty close. And I think the big thing is that, like, I saw people generating security footage online. You can make fake security footage of someone shoplifting, as an example. Right?
That's great. Right. That's a great thing to add. Yeah.
And it just feels like they haven't thought through the implications. Devendra Hardawar, you cover this for a living. What is your reaction?
Yeah, this is everything about this company. They do things that they have not thought about because they basically stumbled into this technology and were like, oh, hey, are these LLMs that we've made are better than everybody else's? No, the tech industry historically has not thought very hard about how it implements things. It wants a shiny thing. It wants the demand and the users. Like, it wants the hype, rather than dealing with the consequences. So I kind of feel like that's where we're at right now. Like, I just saw the Amazon device thing this week as well, and they announced things like, "Hey guys, you lose your dog in the neighborhood, all our cameras are networked and can track this one dog through the neighborhood." I'm like, guys, okay, so ICE can just like track anybody, right? We have network cameras that all talk to each other, and a government body can just like tap into that and, hey, follow this figure. And now we've made this technology even easier so anybody can use it. It's all garbage. Like, it's all hell that these
quick
companies
question from the back.
Yeah.
What if it's not a dog?
Yeah.
What if it's a human being? Just curious.
What type of human being? Yeah. What type of American are they, basically? Yeah, we are going down a dark path, and these companies don't give a fuck. So I'm pretty cynical about all this stuff.
My favorite line from that video was Altman just casually going, on the road to AGI.
Yeah.
We'll have some stops. We can have a little fun also, as we actively attempt to extinguish life from the planet.
As we make electricity more expensive for everybody in America, right? There's a report, wholesale electricity costs have increased as much as 267% over the last 5 years in data center hotspots. People don't even need to use this stuff to be affected by it, and it sucks. It's awful.
Yeah, I do have to say, Devendra, present company excluded. I want to be very clear about this. I do think the press has been partially responsible for this feeding frenzy, right?
It's a lot of press, but yeah,
for not present company excluded. Obviously, I do not. I'm seriously, I don't think you're part of this wave of hype. But
you guys haven't seen my blog.
I saw this. I was listening to this podcast called. It was a podcast. I honestly don't even remember the name at this point. Let me see if I can find it. But it's about people who these people who like fall in love with their AI chatbots.
Yeah.
And I never got to the end of it. I listened to the first, 4 episodes out of 6 or 4 episodes out of 8, whatever it is. And they never really clarify that the AI chatbots don't actually have sentience. Like, they don't actually clarify that, like, hey, it's just a really fancy version of autocomplete. It's like a predictive text algorithm. There's no actual personality at the heart of it. And I think there's a lot of credulously kind of repeating
No, definitely.
What people like Sam Altman say in the press that kind of makes people think that these things are more powerful and capable than they are. And I find that to be very distressing.
I mean, I find it, the press in general, it's not just tech, it's everything. It's politics, it's equating everything. Like, I think media, a lot of media has failed us because honestly, it's also a dying industry and people are working for big, a journalist does not work for themselves. They work for their editor who gets the orders from down on high, and the whole scope of a media organization is determined by their corporate owners typically. So there's a lot of problems. And I think the hype around AI, it is fascinating to me as somebody who's covered technology since, 2010 professionally. So that's 15 years. I saw that first hype cycle of social media. I saw the rise with smartphones and everything. And I feel like at this point we should be able to call out bullshit when we see it, sense the hype wave, call it out. Because what are you going to do with these Sora videos? Great. You can make lifelike videos on demand. Use a ton of electricity. What the fuck do you do with it? You send it to your friends? Send it in group chats? How many of those things are you going to do? That's what GIFs are for. But I asked this about
TikTok. What is TikTok? What is TikTok? But that.
Well, TikTok is, at the very least, from what I've seen, a lot more human generated. And I think that's kind of the thing, the connection. But the thing that's made it interesting now, before it becomes like the Trump, friends right wing mouthpiece soon. But the thing about TikTok is the connection between people. Like, so much of TikTok is just people talking to each other. Like, you sit down, you put your phone, you get your thoughts out. It's like blogging in visual form, basically, right? And then cool videos and stuff too. There's some AI, but I think AI has taken over more of YouTube's thing. And YouTube is just a very different platform. That's a platform where you kind of sit back and watch whatever it gives you. Things are not good.
I agree with Devindra about where. By the way, the podcast I was referring to is called Flesh and Code. Was the name of the podcast.
Okay.
And I never got to the end of it because I was getting pretty frustrated with the podcast about how, like, so maybe at the end they're like, actually, it's complete bullshit, and these things aren't really.
It's you got to frame
beings.
this up front. You have to frame this up front.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with Devindra. Where I agree with Devindra on this is I do think that this human connection does offer something that AI does not right now. Now, Jeff, maybe in the future when these things are photorealistic and indistinguishable from reality, that
you mean like next Tuesday,
it may become something that is more compelling for people than talking with it. But I at this point where I stand right now, I don't see it replacing human connection yet. But
they're going to try. They are trying.
They're trying. They're trying.
Yeah.
But I don't see it happening.
I am inclined to agree with that, but I think the timeline for this is much shorter than you guys do. And I think that the fact that this has all happened in like 3 years is bonkers to me. And so it's hard for me not to be a little more pessimistic than it sounds like either of you are. I would like to believe that we all care about human connection, but I suspect that content is king, and that the novelty is what people go to TikTok for. Obviously, you guys are much more steeped in that culture.
Yeah,
than
it's
I
not
am,
just
so,
novelty. Yeah,
but go
I
ahead.
think
Jeff,
there's
finish
a
what
big,
you're saying.
well, I think that's a big part of it, and I do think that perhaps what we will see is the death of novelty. Is that when anything is possible to perceive, it becomes completely trivial, and no longer are we impressed by anything. And I think my kids' generation, I fear for their, hopefully that will result in a sort of a turning back and a reappreciation of live and natural and organic and tangible. I don't know that will happen. I suspect it will just be a sort of deadening of all the emotions and a deepening of the depression problem in our culture. But I do think the result will be like, if I can see anything at any time and it will look like it actually happened, what's the point? What's the point? If I can just speak it into existence and view it as if it was real.
Think of something to speak it,
True.
The whole reason we sit back.
That is what all these companies are selling, is that it's a tool for creators, and I don't believe that is going to be true.
We already, here's the thing though, Jeff. We already have the ability via CG to make basically anything, right?
Yes.
The thing
incredible
that is,
toil and cost.
Yeah, that's right. The thing that's changing with this is now theoretically anyone can just say it and it will happen, right?
And
now,
that's a big
toil
deal.
Cost
that's a big difference.
Offloaded. Yeah, the toil and cost happens on servers that are using too much power that you'll never see.
Agreed, but the trivial nature of
whether that will actually be a paradigmatic shift in is that the right word? Yes. Like whether that will actually shift the paradigm of how what people actually want to see, right?
The reason I have not much hope for this is the people are not out there clamoring for AI media. This is not. We're not seeing the crowds in the streets for that, right? We are seeing people get hyped for, hey, this is an interesting thing in the movie theaters, and people are actually going to movie theaters, or they're jumping on TikTok, which is a platform where people are talking directly to each other often. The people pushing the whole AI bandwagon is the tech industry and the AI industry. It's not creators who kind of need to make some of this stuff, or who they say these tools are for. The creator, like, people aren't really demanding this. Maybe some people are. A lot of those people are being paid to say they are, by the way, so pay attention to that. The demand is coming entirely from within the house, right? Which is why I'm like, this, you can't just tell us, oh, this is the future, right? This is going to replace everything. If I don't see people actually excited for it, if I don't see the use case for it, I've been doing this long enough to be like, what the hell do I do with this stuff? And they still don't have answers for me.
I will say, Devindra, that all I agree with all that. I will say there is one use case that I actually think is going to come into play. Or I'm not saying this is the only one. I'm saying this is the only one that really makes sense for me. Is Mark Zuckerberg was talking about how he's building the new video generation tools on Meta AI and so on and so forth. And he's like, one of the big issues people have is they want to advertise their local business, but they don't know how to shoot and edit video, right? So I do think that AI ads will become a huge deal, because if you're a local mom and pop shop and you're like, hey, I want to advertise on Instagram, right? They already are. I'm driving down the street right now. I see some AI generated shit on a billboard, like literally, right? So it's already happening. And I do think that is a clear slam dunk use case, because it's like, this is a thing where people don't even really care that much about the quality. It's just like, hey, I want to burn the name of this organization into your brain. And,
so you're saying, it's going to be a perfect tool for creating some slop that they don't really know how to do, right? Slop is the key word.
I'm just saying there is a use case for advertisers.
No, most definitely.
But whether it's going to be useful for anything artistically, I think is still an open question. So,
and even then, like, is it going to make a good ad? Is it going to make something that stands out? If all the things start to be AI generated,
but most ads are bad. That's the thing. It's like
most things are bad.
Yeah,
most things are bad, and that's what I think. That I don't disagree with anything you guys have said. I just am a little bit more pessimistic on the event horizon of all this, which I
feel like, Jeff, you have given up a little on this.
I'm
saying there are no signs where we should give up. Because just because these people are telling us this is it.
I am not depressed about the people. I'm depressed about the people, if you catch my drift. Like, it is not about the yes, I would love to rage against the machine and fight back against the people that are telling us this is real. I am much more depressed about the average person's desire for quality and sort of bar over which they require things to leap. I mean, the cheapness and the ubiquity of all of this is just going to make it unavoidable, and people will just stop caring. Yes, but now it's easy to tell the difference. It looks like garbage. It looks like slop.
Yeah.
There will be a time where it won't really matter. It won't really, that person doesn't exist. None of the cast of this show really exists. It kind of doesn't really, no one can tell. No one cares. You know, I think that really will happen, honestly.
That just seems really cynical of the audience, though, because, like, you look at what's happened. Look at what happened to the MCU, right? Like, where a lot of things ended up feeling algorithmically generated, right? A lot of things started to feel samey. The audience left. The audience responded. Like, the audience does respond to the quality of content, and they care. Like, from what we've seen, they do care. My thing is, like, they keep telling us, oh yeah, people will want this stuff. I don't see the reality where people are out there clamoring to create Sora videos to share with their friends as they're saying they will. You know, like,
you see it online on Twitter where people are like, but you're right. But I think you're right. Like, average everyday people, it's an open question. I mean, look, on Facebook, we see lots of people taken in by these AI generated creations. Now, whether they'll actually seek that out artistically is an open question. But hey,
well, that's a whole other side of it that I think is equally as dire. Is the death of truth, right? Is that mine eyes betray me? You know, it is. We can talk about artistic content, and I think a friend of the show, Walter Chaw, had a wonderful skeet on Blue Sky that I reskeeted and enjoy. He said, never have I heard an artist say, I hope the machine can do this for me. Not artists all the time. And I think that is the fulcrum upon which all of this rotates, which is it will artists. Art is the struggle. You know, we talk about blood in the work. And when you sit down and you want to create something, the work, the toil is the fun. That is the process. That's what you're there for. That's what art is figuring it out. If you're not an artist, if you're someone that just wants to make a buck, that you don't want artists involved because they're messy and they take a long time and it's and if you know, if you're right, Devindra, and I hope you are, that the audience is discerning about all this stuff, then that will fall away. But I don't think the history of media proves that to be true. I think that slop has reigned for a long time, and this is just a different way to deliver slop.
I mean, there are certain elements of that being true, but the audience, like, people can tell when something is good. I don't know, like, to a certain degree. When it's all photorealistic, it's going to be hard to tell. But my thinking there is then who is going to actually be producing this stuff, right? Are we going to start to see a multitude of AI generated movies hitting the theaters or hitting other platforms? There's AI video now on YouTube. It makes some people money. I don't know if that's regular viewing for somebody, like an actual thing where, you know, you're following a series or you're following a movie or something. So there's a lot we don't know. It's just I don't want to give them the benefit of the doubt that this is actually like what is going to happen, because we've lived through so many eras of especially the entertainment industry, but the technology industry trying to force various things on us. And I was there. Tablets were going to take over the world. Well, they're around. They're really good. We still have laptops. We still have everything, right? Wearables were going to be the next great thing. Replace all your phones. They're nice to have. They're nice to have. It is a minuscule market compared to everything else. So we will see how all these things coexist. But the doom and gloom I'm not there for. And what is heartening to me is the artists and a lot of people, a lot of the public saying, like, I don't want this. So yeah, we'll see.
I think it's great. Yeah, go ahead,
Dave.
Well, I think it's a great point you're making, Jeff, about who is reacting in what way to this. Because I think that among the masses, and especially among the tech crowd, there is what I can only describe as a seething resentment towards the artist class of like, these are the people that they shouldn't be the only ones that are allowed to make culture. Yeah. I should be allowed to make culture, except I don't have all the skills and I haven't worked on it at all. Right.
That's right. Yeah.
And now with tools like Sora 2 by OpenAI, it's like, now I can be the artist I've always wanted to be, and all I got to do is type some shit.
Turns out you suck shit. Turns out you have no ideas. Well, I think you have no good ideas for cars.
Yeah, it's a communication problem, I think, in culture that about what art is, and I really do believe the struggle is it, and I don't think that is the way people conceive of it. Like the process of
they think
creation,
it is the product. They think of art as the product.
100%, and it's a commoditization of all culture, right? But those of us, and I'm going to put myself right in square in that column, those of us that take joy in creating things, what is fun? When I sit down and I write something, what is fun is all of the dead ends and bouncing up against the hardship and digging in and figuring it out and making it better and iterating and doing all that stuff. That every dab of paint on the canvas, every, edited word on the page, all of that stuff is it. And I think that most people, as you say, in a certain, outside looking in, just don't even conceive of it in those terms.
Correct.
And for them, this feels like,
these gatekeepers that have been preventing me from making art. Now I can I don't need a whole cast and crew anymore. I can do it myself now.
And the entire Tilly Norwood thing, which I don't know if we're going to get into that.
Yeah, I want to get into it separately. So
I will. But the thrust of that video, even as a joke, is how cheap this is all going to be for everybody. And Devindra, you make an excellent point about it's not cheap. It's just offloading the cost to everybody. But for the people for whom it has been offloaded from, it will be cheaper. It will be less messy because you're not dealing with as many humans who, like the video points out, need craft services and need to be fed and have bathrooms and all the bullshit that organic sacks of meat have to worry about. That is not an applicable factor to the other things you've talked about, which is, other fads, other things that were supposed to be huge. This really will be a cheaper, easier way for the people with no talent to make slop. And I think that is unfortunately going to be the deciding factor as to whether this sticks around or not.
But the question remains, will it be any good, right? Because we're going to talk about this Tilly Norwood thing and the video that shows. I thought the video was fine, but you can see the seams, you can see the fuzzy teeth on that. Before we get onto that though, Jeff, have your kids asked you if something is AI yet?
No,
because that is the thing I keep hearing. Because when I'm at the
kids
bus stop talking,
sorry, go ahead.
But talking with all the other kids, like right now, the thing that's happening in the schools, like the kids see something and they're like, "Oh, that's AI." Like that's something that looks really cool and impossible. Like, "Oh yeah, that's AI." Even if it's a real video, even if it's a real human doing something. But that is a really interesting response right now, because if that is the assumption, from what I'm seeing from a lot of kids, I'm hearing it happening all over the country at least. The idea of when things aren't AI will still be impressive to them. So I think that discerning factor will still kind of be there. Yeah.
My kids watch a ton of AI generated stuff, much to my chagrin, and almost all of it, a ton is exaggeration, but more than I would like. And all of it are these quiz YouTube channels that they love the quizzes, and I am conflicted because I know they're all AI generated.
Yeah.
But I kind of dig the fact that my kids are like trying to learn quizzes, but it's all like, what are the flags of the world? What are the, what does this symbol mean? It's all quiz stuff. And I know it is all just, even the voiceover in it is all AI generated. It's all garbage.
I think like that in my house, flat rule, no AI voices at the very least. If we're going to watch something, it's a person saying it, or if it's just text on the screen and music on the side or something. But once you allow the AI voices to come in, it just starts to be normalized. It's also just like, it hurts my brain. I don't know about you guys, but you hear that stuff. Like my brain refuses to process that stuff after a certain point. And it's just like, I don't know. There are a lot of great YouTube shows out there for your kids, Jeff, that are geared towards kids around science and facts and things like that with humans. And we human hosts.
Watch tons of it. I don't mean to say that I'm sort of lax in allowing this. I know it's easy to, and I do feel conflicted about it, but there's a few times when they're like, "Hey, we want to watch the Bluey quiz show."
Right.
And it's a YouTube thing about all the facts about Bluey, and we're all having fun guessing the things. And I'm going, I know this is made by AI. I know it is.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I hear you.
I think the thing that really distresses me these days that I see online is the AI summaries of movies, right? Like, where it'll be like, this is the movie, in this movie, it'll be Leonardo DiCaprio in one battle after another. It's like, in this movie, a man breaks into an immigration center and frees the people inside. But then it like literally narrates the entire plot of the movie via AI, but it's like summarizes the entire film into a 90-second clip. And so people will just like experience the movie through that. And it's horrifying. My hope is that people care enough about the movie to actually go and seek out the movie, but for many people, that's going to be their exposure to a movie like The Handmaid's, one battle after another, or in the case I saw recently, like The Handmaid's Tale, right? It'll be like, it's I will say, by the way, though, I have I have added movies to my watch list due to those things, but I don't think a lot of people are doing that. I think they're just kind of
I will say fun cultural things are popping up sometimes. I don't know if you guys have seen the Italian brain rot stuff, the Italian AI video brain rot. It will drive you insane, but if you've heard somebody say something like, what is it?
Tralalero, tralala, shark with blue shoes.
Tralalero, tralala, tung tung sahur.
Tung 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 sahur.
It's this whole like weird AI series that has become memeified by the kids, and now kids are just out there saying the word, saying broken Italian because this AI thing did it. But it's also because it's weird culture in a way. It's almost like an Adult Swim type of weird comedy. Because it's so unusual and so strange, not because they're trying to give us straight up culture. It's because this thing is broken, and it's kind of funny it's broken, and our human brains tell us it's funny. So I find that fascinating.
All right, gents, let's talk about this news that's taking the world of entertainment by storm. I'm reading here from Variety.com. AI actress Tilly Norwood debuts at Zurich Summit as industry grapples with emerging tech. I'm going to read here from the article.
Can we just outlaw the term AI actress right off the top, please?
AI actress Tilly Norwood has attracted the attention of multiple talent agents Actor, comedian, and producer Elijn van der Velden told a panel at the Zurich Summit, the industry strand of the Zurich Film Festival. Tilly Norwood is the first creation to emerge from the recently launched AI talent studio Zycoia, a spin-off from Van der Velden's AI production studio Particle 6.
We know all that. We know those folks, right? All those names.
Oh, yeah.
They're the top-
Particle
top
6.
industry.
Yeah.
Everyone knows about Particle 6. Anyway,
Well, my Van der Velden heads.
in July... In July, Norwood revealed on her Facebook page that she had appeared in her first role, a comedy sketch, AI Commissioner, which can be found in a YouTube video. And I'm going to play a little clip from it.
No one should be writing in these terms about
Right.
this. No one should be saying
Variety's
she
doing it
announced
badly.
she attributing agency to this thing.
Personhood
Yes.
to
No.
things. Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah. Stop it. I agree.
Variety in particular, which always has like weird industry language, it is weird that they're not taking a step back and think about how they talk about
They should be
this,
saying Van der Velden wrote on Norwood's page as Norwood.
Yeah.
That's right.
Or whatever
That's right.
it is. Anyway, I'm going to play a little clip from this sketch. And if this is going to be on YouTube, it'll be a very, very short clip because we don't want to get copyright flagged. But here's a little clip from the sketch that Tilly Norwood appears in. And it's basically about how they used AI to write the sketch and make the sketch that Norwood herself appears in. So it's kind of a Ouroboros of AI slop. Here we go.
Tilly Norwood, 100% AI generated by some company called Particle 6.
Now, I personally have multiple reactions to this.
Are all of them ick?
Reaction number one, first of all, is if you feel like your house has a gas leak as you're watching that video, you're not alone, because the sketch is virtually incomprehensible, in my opinion. Like, just people saying random buzzwords, and yes, there is like the bare bones of a plot, but it doesn't capture like, unless it's supposed to be avant-garde, I don't think it captures the wit and cohesion of a regular human authored sketch.
It sounds like a scene from the studio, like what they're kind of going for, and then you think of like, man, the studio was so well written and everybody performed that so well, and it's like that's just human connection, right? Like that's people working at the height of their powers to create something really powerful, and then you watch this and like, oh, it's just noise. It's just noise. And the teeth, like, it is funny in this particular model they use, the teeth are kind of like blurred out.
The actual teeth in the characters, all of whom are AI generated, right, are all blurred out.
Because I guess they can't quite do the separation right, but then it just looks like why are you out of focus on your teeth? What is going on here?
All the mouths are very over articulated.
Jeff, what were you gonna say?
I disagree that it is I mean, it may be incomprehensible to the vast majority of the people, but this feels like a video that is talking directly to people in the industry. And it is talking to them in their own words. And it is this very strange meta commentary where we're making fun of the thing that we're also actually doing.
Right.
And isn't it hilarious how we're all going to hell, and this is all, but at the same time, it's a send up of what you think we're doing, but we're actually doing it in a way that is going to do all that stuff. So you better fucking get on board or you're going to be left in the dust. I think that is the absolute message of this, which is, hey, we can all laugh at how the industry is dying, but look, we're killing it right now, and you better fucking get on board, everybody. It felt like a threat. This
It did kind of feel like threat, but also you look closely and you're like, are they killing it? Are they really?
Yeah, I mean,
I agree that it's not there yet. But
I was going to say, that was going to be another one of my points. Is I think it looks and sounds like shit so far.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't think it looks and sounds good. Jeff, I know your point is like it's going to be here soon, where it will be looks and sound good, and maybe you're right, but it's definitely not there yet.
I'm just not willing to put all my hopes in it's bad now, because of how we see how fast it iterates.
That statement assumes that I have any hopes at all, Jeff. So so nor am I, Jeff. But what we can evaluate is where it's at now, and right now it looks like complete dog shit, in my opinion. So
I think it looks very bad, but also it's extraordinary that that bad is possible. I think
that is true. Both things can be true. And the other thing is also like I love that even in the AI generated world, there's still like some sinister sexual undertones in the video. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
like,
I think that's the whole tone of this is like, look at all, we're acknowledging all the dark sides of what we're making. Aren't we so
Right.
self-reflective?
Yes.
But also, fuck y'all, because we're still doing it.
Right. So anyway, reading on from this Variety piece, Norwood, quote unquote, in quotes that aren't there, wrote, "Can't believe it. My first ever role is live. I star in
Wow.
AI Commissioner, a new comedy sketch that playfully explores the future of TV development, produced by the brilliant team at Particle 6 Productions." She added, "I may be AI generated, but I'm feeling very real emotions right now. I am so excited for what's coming next." End quote. Really? You're feeling real emotions?
That's right. It's like writing a PR about like how great you are. It's like, oh man, my team at Particle 6, they're so great. We are so awesome. My question for this is, to what end? Why does Tilly Norwood? Is she going to be in a movie with a live action person?
Van der Velden announced at the summit, "We want Tilly to be the next Scarlett Johansson or Natalie Portman. That's the aim of what we're doing. People are realizing that their creativity doesn't need to be boxed in by a budget. There are no constraints creatively, and that's why AI can be really positive. It's just about changing people's viewpoints." End quote.
So what do you do with her? Do you make an entirely AI movie? Does she fit in? Does she work alongside other humans? If she's an actual actress, do we fit her in like Roger Rabbit style? Like, to what end? Is a good question to ask for any of these AI like products. Like, what the hell are you going to do with this?
Devindra,
It's very cool you made this.
I don't know if you heard me. She's gonna be the next Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, I heard.
I don't know.
So think about all the stuff that Scarlett Johansson does, and that's what
she'll do that.
I will accept no further follow-up questions from that.
I also feel like Ana de Armas needs to sue these people because they're naming all these people, and she looks like Ana de Armas.
Mm-hmm.
She does not look like any of these other folks. But yeah,
we should acknowledge that many actors in Hollywood have called this out as complete bullshit.
Well, there's a very prominent drive to if an agent does sign this thing, that all of the other talent at that agency will drop that agency.
That agent had better really be willing to bet on the AI future.
Exactly.
In other words, if they take on Tilly Norwood,
that bears out. People often, again, a misconception people have. An agent works for the talent. That they're an employee of the talent. They get 10% of what the talent makes. They're paid by the talent. No one else pays the agent. That's not really true because they also take money off the top of other projects and package things.
Packaging deals.
Up.
Yeah,
all of it's fucked up.
Jeff, have you heard of AI agents?
A dark chapter in Hollywood history for sure, Jeff. But anyway, continue.
AI agents are a thing. Like, that's a term being used to describe like AI personas that you work with alongside. It's all going to be AI, right? It's going to be, can they make an AI agent that works with the studios or something? And then, an entirely AI produced studio just producing AI slop. Like, it's just,
I mean, if there is an upside to this, it may be the elimination of agents altogether. There can be a silver lining to the apocalypse, you guys.
I mean, this is true. All the dark times have revealed who are true friends and who are true enemies. So yeah, everything going on right now.
Yeah.
I think first off the board, whoever wrote this article at Variety needs to be fired immediately. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Like the tone of that article is disgusting.
Because let's just be clear, because it is credulously talking about Norwood as though she's an actual person,
attributing motivation and desire and
or saying that she has real emotions without any pushback on that statement, right?
Talking about it like it's a, I don't know. I feel like I'm in a science fiction
part of that,
movie
like I was talking about, like media is kind of beholden to the organization and their editors and everything. The Variety style is breathless in a way, filled with like industry speak and industry jargon. Look at this. Like the way they phrase things is just like really. I cannot read Variety because it's disgusting. Outside of the reviews, like I think the reviewers can be good, but the people writing news have to be within this house style, and their house style has not adapted to the fact that AI people are not real. And this is true for a lot of organizations, unfortunately.
Let's adapt to that, please.
Let's adapt.
A little quicker on the adaptation, please.
Yeah. Well, Gersh has said that they are not going to sign Tilly Norwood. So Gersh agency president Leslie Seibert, I'm reading here from another Variety piece, who represents bona fide next-gen stars such as Jacob Elordi, called the Tilly phenomenon frightening.
He's AI. I've seen Jacob Elordi. That guy's not real. Yeah.
Calls the Tilly phenomenon frightening and says she would not be surprised if the AI creation lands at an agency. But we're not going to be that
It's
agency.
terrifying. I won't be surprised if it's a massive success.
I know my
money.
But we're not going to be that agency, Seibert says. That said, it's going to keep coming up, and we have to figure out how to deal with it in the proper way. But it's not a focus for us today, end quote. So, yeah, people are already starting to react to this. And here is, let's see, Scott Stuber, a legendary movie producer. Says, quote, I think the writer, actor, and director will never be able to be replicated. It's just the human condition. It's from the caveman days when we wrote on walls. Part of our humanness is that we imply narratives to each other, that we tell stories. I think technology can help augment it. Will it ever replicate it? I hope not. Because I think that what we all do is magic. And seeing the magic in Jeremy Allen White or Jeremy Strong's eyes is still, to me, what makes art great, end quote, talking about the premiere of the Bruce Springsteen biopic, Deliver Me From Nowhere.
I think
one thing,
I think the problem is, and this is my fundamental point, and that's where Devindra and I part ways a bit. But I think we're aligned for most of what we're talking about. But here's where we part ways: is I think that the optimists in this case are comparing AI slop to the best of art, which bravo, yes. But I don't think the best of art is most art. And I think, unfortunately, there's always been room for let's hire a guy and shit some stuff out and let's do it. And they were hiring a guy, and it was great that they hired a human being. And yes, thumbs up to actually employing a human being that was bad and willing to be compromised and didn't put their soul into anything and just would shit stuff out. But that's always happened. And I think now we can shit stuff out with having to pay the guy or girl. And hey, now we cut out human beings from the equation. Let's do that.
Yeah.
We need to think about the chain of events. I don't know if people will actually watch that stuff. Like, that's the thing. Then you have to assume, among all the other things there is to watch, we already complained there's too much content, that people are going to take time out of their day to watch like random AI slop. That's where we don't know. We don't quite know. And I guess, it's all kind of up in the air.
I agree. We have not seen that it will work beyond the bounds of a 90-second Facebook video, right? Like, it definitely works on that context. But are they going to watch a movie? I mean, people aren't really watching movies.
That's kind of
how they're going to watch a movie anyway.
People are watching movies, man.
More people watch TikToks than watch movies. That's a fact.
But people are still showing up for long movies apparently too. So that's been happening. It's been a good summer. One thing I want to point out, behind the scenes stuff is where I think a lot of this stuff may actually start to be happening, like for stunt doubles, for stuff where historically you have somebody who's not the main star kind of being shadowed by somebody to kind of replicate them. And that's where we have CG models like replicating a lot of people in movies these days. I think like a big star will have a fully photorealistic AI model of themselves they can use for stunts and things like that. And I think that's definitely going to be a thing that's happening, because that is taking away a lot of the hard work that people don't normally notice. But we've always tried to find workarounds to keep the actors from getting hurt. So that's the thing. But then you've got people like Tom Cruise saying like, hey, I did this all myself, or Brad Pitt in F1. I drove a lot of that myself. And I think that appeal too for people. Top Gun, Maverick, they flew those planes.
And people still
they flew in those planes.
They flew in those planes.
They flew in those planes. I don't know if they flew those.
Still, a thing.
My retort to that would be people also still listen to vinyl, right? I think there's gonna be a niche audience that is going to seek this out, and we're going to all be part of it. And there's going to be people that value that. And I think there's going to be a much larger group of people that do not.
Jeff, did you see the stories of vinyl sales were getting higher than CD sales after a point? Like,
CDs either.
But these are weird comparisons. Yes, people still listen to vinyl.
This is like Justin Timberlake in The Social Network is like, but you lost the trial in court. Do you want to buy a Tower Records, Devindra?
I think it's like people still seek out organic food, and then a lot of people don't give a fuck what they put in their bodies.
These are all very different things, but yes,
I don't know. I don't know if they are, but I hope.
All right, guys. So let's call it. Let's call it, guys. Is Tilly Norwood going to be a thing? Do you predict it? Now, I'm not saying. Is in the long term, is AI slop going to replace art? Like,
define a thing.
Okay,
define a thing.
Exactly. Okay, here. Is your mom going to know who Tilly Norwood is?
No. Although
don't
it
think
is
so.
showing up in a lot of morning shows and things like that. So
Yeah.
maybe they'll see like this novelty on morning news.
Sure. Okay.
But
Okay. Are your parents or your friends gonna know who Tilly Norwood is in the context of a movie that they?
I think the more pertinent question is:
Yeah.
Will Tilly Norwood ever star in
Yes.
anything that's not a 90-second YouTube?
Yes.
There you go.
That's the
Okay.
thing.
Question.
That's
Jeff,
the
what do you
question.
think?
I'm skeptical that it's Tilly Norwood. I'm
Right,
skeptical that
you
it's
think
Tilly
it will
Norwood.
be someone.
I think it
not
will
Tilly
eventually
Norwood.
be a thing, but I don't think Tilly Norwood is the thing.
Tilly Norwood doesn't have the juice, man. She doesn't have what it takes.
she's so generically attractive.
She doesn't
She's
have
not
what
a
it takes.
star.
She doesn't have what it takes to make it in Hollywood. Is kind of what our issue is. So Jeff is voting no, and he's the most AI kind of doomer among us, and I vote no by default. Devindra,
no.
Tilly
there's nothing.
Norwood.
She says she starred in the short. She was in the background of the short. No, she didn't talk.
By the way, very authentic to an actor. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
That's they've nailed that.
She
If
nailed
that's
that
AI,
part.
She's got it. Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching this video of the Filmcast. Check out these other videos that we have available, and be sure to hit like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to get other videos from us in the future.
You can also go to thefilmcast.com to catch all of our audio podcast versions of all of our episodes.
And support this podcast at patreon.com/filmpodcast, where you can sign up for ad-free episodes and exclusive After Darks.
Thanks so much to everyone who makes the Filmcast possible.